go get your paint. This is how you do it, the Shoshie way. I'm gonna teach you, be ready to learn. Cause when I'm done, it's your turn. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. We paint miniatures. Turn on, tune in, hear what I say. Watch real closely, enjoy your stay. You'll see me painting from up above. And if you like it, give it mad love. Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? Take your time, steady and you can do it right. Shoshie can enter my world, watch what grows. And when I'm through, why not have it go? We paint miniatures. 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 We paint miniatures.
Hello, it's Shoshie from Shoshie's Minis, and we are live, and it's Monday, and I see a lot of people in chat. That's awesome. I see Luminous and Ashkadellen. You're not first. Looks like Luminous is first. And who else do I see? I see Rumble. Double Fruity. Hello, everybody. Robosh. Painty Cricks. Hello. Hello, hello, hello. All right, let's just check through real quick. I want to see if anybody has, people are saying hello, happy Monday. You were on the phone, the alert, I'm glad the alerts are coming through. I want to say we're going to paint Hellboy today. I got my notice right. So if you do get notice 2, it will tell you the link to the actual, look at this, what is happening? That. Anyway, I have a Hellboy mini. This is commission. And I printed out, I'm pretty sure this is the box art from Angel Giraldes. And I'm going to deconstruct it, Shoshify it a little bit, and show you how to paint it. So I like to do that. I feel like, you know, when people make box art, I think it's there for you to follow. Double Fruity, thank you for the subscription. Doesn't time fly when you're having fun? Yes, it does. 3 months. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's write down Double Fruity. Thank you so much for your subscription. So have you tried any more of the new snacks that I sent you, Double Fruity? I want information. I know you guys can't have been waiting this long. Yes, hypes. Okay, here's Hellboy. Very, very fine resin model that you can get from Mantic Games. He comes with like 3 other models that are part of the little crew he follows around with. If you've ever read the comic, he has a couple different people that he fights with. And here is the box art I printed out. Angel Giraldes, he has a YouTube channel, which I follow and I subscribe to, which I recommend you go follow Angel because he is fantastic. And I've learned so much from him. You're being good and saving them for Halloween? How can you wait that long? That's so long. You have your eye on the Butterfinger. It's, what is that, a full-size Butterfinger? I think it was. All right, I want you to take a look at this artwork here. I want to point out some things real quick here. Where's my little pointer? We'll use this. Aha, it's a pointer. Notice the black. There's black underlining everything. We're gonna get that effect, that hard cartoon kind of dark lining, big contrast. We're gonna get that effect by leaving a lot of the black primer that is already there. You can see how we did a zenithal priming with this. So we're gonna be very careful not to mess up our black there. The office painter, oh hello. Do you get to paint at the office? That sounds like a really good job. Welcome and thank you. Tail cut weird. Yeah, the tail goes around here. It's cut right there. I ended up filling that up, so it curls around right there. You're looking on your other screen. Okay, that's pretty cool. It isn't the cut weird. It's like one piece. Yeah. In fact, we had to re-glue. I remember when we were fixing this, we had to use some Bondic to fix things together. It worked out okay though. Yeah, there's a little key right here. Can you see the key in the artwork? Teviston, good afternoon. 33 months of good afternoons. 33 months in a row, Teviston has been subscribing. That is awesome. Thank you for your subscription and your awesomeness, which I'm so happy to have you here. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get a holder to hold this with. I'm going to clip the paper clip. Clip the paper clip. I don't know if you knew this, but a lot of pliers, not just needle nose, but they come with a little bit of wire clippers already made on the end of there. I didn't know that until fairly recently. Anyway, it's not too hard to just clip, even though those aren't wire cutters. And a lot of times, this is a lot stronger than, say, some of your nippers, because, see here, these are nippers. And sometimes they're not as strong because you can get a lot more leverage with the big pair of needle nose. Joking, love you too. What are you trolling my people, Lamunas? Useful knowledge, the more weight behind them. Yes, yes. Yiddish word of the day. What does kvel mean? Oh my gosh. I love you, loves minis. Kvel. I'm kvelling. I'm kvelling over how awesome all of you are. kvel. It means to like, it's kind of like to crow about, to, you know, to crow about, to brag. Yeah, hold on, let me look it up. Let me make sure I get it right. I will tell you. A lot of mamalas will crow about their Jewish son who's a lawyer or a doctor. My mom was kvelling with pride, bursting with pride. I'm using my like New Jersey Jewish accent. Bursting with pride. And in British English, you might say chuffed. Oh, no, you would say proper chuffed. Okay? Yes. What would you say in German? To be full of pride. What would you say in German, Okami? I see that you're here. Very good as a Brit. Yep. Is it similar to kvel? Let me look it up on Translate. Let's see, German to like kvel, to burst with pride, to be proud. Let's see, maybe stolz, or let's see. Let me see if there's an idiom for bursting with pride. Voller Stolz. Fist bump. Yeah, well, you need a fist bump while you're doing a Jersey accent. To praise and highly adore, not endure. Yes. I would say voller Stolz is German. There we go. Kvel is the Yiddish. But I would say, like in American English, it would be like to crow, to be bursting with pride, to be like bragging a little bit. Okay, let me get, there was something I was going to get. Someday I want to kvel about my painting. Yes, but specifically kvel, you can kvel about yourself, but it's better if somebody else does it, right? Like your mom or your folks. I was going to get a holder. That's what I was going to get. Grandmas will often kvel, as you know. Okay, I'm going to show off. Oh, you know what? I'm going to grab one of these too. I've got a few of my holders from my, you guys know I love my holders. There we go. We're going to take this. They're from Rathcore.com. Rathcore is, Stephen Rathcore is he's in Germany, and he's a painter, but he has these really amazing holders. And I don't know if I don't know if we're still sponsored by him, but we were once sponsored by him, and I love them. We make a sentence. Meine Großeltern platzen vor Stolz. Yes. So that's another thing. Platzen. Hold on, let me check what that is in English. My grandmother platzen vor Stolz. Bursts with pride. Yes, that's a beautiful way to say it. Your Deutsch is very rusty. Ich bin... there we go. Dave speaks actual Yiddish, unlike me, who just knows a few words here. Ich bin a so quellen wegen mein klein. Is it Scheifele? Did I get that right? The accent, Dave? I probably totally messed it up, didn't I? All right, this might be too high. I'm going to get a different one. There we go. Thank you for the page for the Wrathcore holders. It was great. Ah, that's so funny. Okay. So we're learning a little Yiddish. Somebody asked on my channel, what does kvel mean? And we said it means bursting with pride. Better than most. Oh, yeah. Shefela means my little lamb, the little lamb. Shefela. All right, here we go. So, boom, boom, boom. Ow! Did you know that there's different dialects of Yiddish, aka Dave? I didn't know this, but there is. Carlos A.F. Garcia, thank you so much for your host. All right, there we go. Now, when we put this on here, we're going to take our brush in here, pop that out. This little thing comes open, maybe. It's got a little sticky. It's a little sticky. There we go. I got a little sticky in there. I'm going to put this right there. So he is on the cork. And now, when I'm holding this, I have so much stability. And when I want to rotate around, I can rest my hand on this bar and get very detailed. So if you've ever wanted amazing holders, these are my favorite. Mein Lieblingsholder, mein Lieblingest Sockel. Sockel? This is a Sockel, I think. There is the Eastern Western European. I speak Western Yiddish. Oh, that's so cute. Yes, it is a Sockel. I was right. See, I'm very impressed with myself because I have nobody to speak German with right now very much, except my husband. And he doesn't count because all he does is correct me all the time. Oh, that's so cute. The office painter. Duty calls. It's been very educational. You might be able to surprise your mother-in-law. That's amazing. That's great. You bought some for your wife and I. They're great, but it took over a month. Yeah, it does take a little bit. Did you get them from, you can get them from PK Pro, faster, PK Pro. So, yeah, or the other thing is just that crazy stuff's been happening with the postage in Germany lately. In Germany, I sent some packages to Germany and they still have not got there, and I sent them in March. So it's unfortunate, but there's a lot of packages being lost in the mail right now. Lila Tove, yeah, that's so great. All right, Hellboy, here's our awesome image. And I want to show you, we're going to start out with the red, and the reason why we're going to use the red first is if you think about a miniature, think about painting it from the inside out. So we're going to start, what's the most inner part of the model? It's going to be his skin, right? Skin, and then his hair, and then his coat, then his pants, and so on and so on. And the outermost parts are the pieces that, like these little parts of his gloves, that kind of thing. And the reason why we do this is because acrylic paints, you can just paint right over them. So as we're painting from the inside out, we eventually cover up a lot of mistakes as we go. And it makes it so much easier to look really crisp and clean. Okay, so and I got some paints from, I got Game Color. You can also use Citadel. The reason why, or P3, the reason why I chose these paints over some of the other paints that I own is because I personally don't like a matte red. I don't think it looks as nice on the model, especially if it's skin. because skin is not matte. So I have, this one is Scarlet Red, Rojo Escarlata, and, oh, this is Game Ink. Hold on one second. Now I need to go and look for my other reds. Whew. Okay, hold on. Well, we could always just use, we could use a P3 red. That'll work. All right, so we've got a couple different satins. I can switch it back to my Evil Sun Scarlet if I need to. There we go. We've got some reds. You know, I might just do that. Let's take a look. Mephiston's pretty bright. Maybe that one is very, it's got, you can tell it's got kind of a weird, let's see what it looks like on the palette. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not so sure about that. It's a different kind of... Rainer, hello. I hope that you're doing well. 40 months. I think that might be the record. 40 months, Rainer. That might be the longest I've seen. Wow, Rainer. You are amazing. How are you? I hope that you're doing well. Guys, give Rainer a follow. Wait, let's do a shout out for him because he is trying to push for partner. And it's so important. Let's do a shout out. Bear with me while I make this happen. There we go. Rainer is amazing at colors, really bright colors and airbrushing. So if you want to, and he does stream a little bit later. He's got a family, but he's really awesome person. Did I do that twice? That's funny. Lurking? Okay, you lurk away. I'm gonna quell. I'm gonna quell about Rainer. Yes, he is a sweetheart. Okay, let's start out with our darker red. We're gonna use the Scarlet Red as our base. Ooh, it's nice and runny on my palette. I might need to shake it a little bit. Trashorama, what a cool name. How are you doing? Wave, we have a wave. Do we have a wave button? I think we do. I used to have a wave. I don't, I have thumbs up. It looks like I used to. We have this guy. That's probably not quite a wave. We're going to give this a good shake because it's been so long since I used this paint. And I'm going to dab this runny one off the palette so it doesn't get all over the place. Okay. All right, let's try this again. All the pigment probably settled. Ah, there we go. Ooh, that's much better. Very nice. Trashorama. Do you like Hellboy? Because that is who we're painting today. Here we go. We're going to start by doing a thin base coat. Because look at this beautiful zenithal we already have here. And by doing a thin base coat, that zenithal is going to shine through and let us see the shadows and highlights underneath. There we go. By the way, while I'm painting, I want to point out this awesome metal song that we have playing. And, oh, no, this is not metal now. We have EDM now. But I just wanted to point out that if you like metal music, we currently have a beautiful, almost filled crowdfund campaign going on right now where we are trying to get money together to pay amazing music producer to make some more metal music for us. And even $1 will go a long way to help us toward our goal. The other day, we had people just kind of chip in, a bunch of people chipped in like $4 or $5 here, there, $1 there. And we ended up making, somebody ended up matching it, and we ended up making like $75. Actually, 2 people matched it. Flickster, and I believe it was maybe C.R. Pearson. I can't remember for sure, but it was really amazing. $75 in less than an hour. Okay, there's his tail. His tail is also red, so we gotta paint that. When my glasses are off, by the way, do at Shoshie's Minis in the comments if you want to get my attention. You love Hellboy? Good. Love Hellboy. The food coma is kicking in. That sounds delicious, Ash. Cubed ham, peas, and garlic, and fried rice. Oh, Mauser Schmool. Thank you for reminding me, Rumble. It was Mauser Schmool who. Greetings from Belgium. Oh, yes. Let's see if I can remember. Belgium has, I believe, 3 languages. French, not Flemish, and I think there's one other language that I can't remember that you speak in Belgium. We're very into languages in this channel, so that is why I bring that up. As you can see, if you know the French or the Flemish word for bursting with pride, or yeah, that's basically the Yiddish word is kwel, to be to kind of brag or burst with pride about somebody or yourself. That's what it means. So if you want to let us know what that is in your language, we'll write it down. There we go. I know we have at least a few other bilingual people in this channel right now. So if you're feeling up to telling us what your word is, we have kind of a little cultural language exchange. German, that's right. That's right. German, Flemish, and French. So we already have the German up here. No, sorry, Voller Stolz is the German. Oh, that's so cool. Okay, that's very close. That's very close. Stoffen. Is that how I say it? Stoffen? And is that's the Belgish, or not? Belgish is not a word. I'm so sorry. Is that Flemish? Stoffen. There we go. Tell me which language that is, and I'll write that down. Naches is a similar Yiddish word. Naches is different. Naches means, Dave probably knows, it's like the person who brings you naches is like, it's kind of like a blessing. It's kind of like they bring you pride. Oh, this is Flemish dialect. Awesome. That's so cool. Contentment. Yeah, contentment. Naches, contentment. You would kwel about the naches that somebody brings you. Does that make sense? The naches that your children bring you from being, being a mensch, being, yeah. There we go. Flemish. There we go. Benjamin says, when I was stupid when I was younger, I chose to rely on technology to help me with my language imbalance. What does that mean? Why is that stupid? What is a language imbalance? Okay. Notice this is drying a little on the pink side, and that's because the white underneath is shining through. So I have a thought. I'm not gonna do it yet. I'm just gonna keep painting with this red. I might paint a little bit thicker than I was. Can you see how I got red paint up on his beard? But because we're going to paint the beard later, it's okay, because that's why we choose to paint the skin first. Okay, let me go ahead and get this. I need to get the paint thinned out a little bit for the horns. Turn him around. See how I can turn the model, not the brush. In school, Flemish people learn Dutch. Oh, that's cool. Flemish is a dialect. Okay, that makes sense. Benjamin says, only speaking one language and expecting others to be okay with it in tech instead of just learning the language myself. No, that makes sense. Like American and UK English. Oh, yes, Cal. That makes a lot of sense. There must be a big difference then. Okay, don't forget his wrists, because he does have gloves on. See, I can turn the model so much easier with the holder and get at the spots. There we go. And then he's got his whole Hellboy arm. Now, I have Hellboy scheduled for 2 days on my schedule, but there's a chance we might finish him today. He doesn't look too difficult. And I also happen to have this to go by, so I'm not making anything up, so that means less mistakes. Part of what makes me faster is I make less mistakes if I have a reference to follow, which is nice. But it also means we might have a day where I might finish painting Song in the Forest. I want to show you guys. This is this bust that I've been working on. Isn't it beautiful? It's by Lucas Pina Pinochet from Spira Mirabilis. He's a Spanish sculptor and painter, and this is a bust that I've been working on my own. It's for myself, and I love it. See, it's important to try to paint relatively quickly so that we get everything covered without any, what do you call it, little tea stains or anything, any hard dry lines. Oh, I just found a little spot on his tail that's not finished. Trying to get in there. There's a little section. There we go. Got it. All right. There's a bunch of cat hair stuck to this holder. Hold on. Trying to. Oh my gosh. There's so much. Hold on. Oy, oy, oy. There's just a few that I'm just going to grab because they got stuck to the holder from the sticky tack that's in between it. Ooh, this is a lot. Oh my gosh. If I can get out the big pieces, then I don't have to worry about it getting stuck to the model by accident. All right. That is pretty good as far as our base coat. Notice it's still not that thick. And that is totally fine. Better to paint in thin coats. And now I'm just going back and doing little touch-ups where I feel like I missed. Oh, I feel a little bit like. See, and I did get a bunch of red into his hair, but that's okay. I did start this bust in olive green. I did. You can kind of see, if you look, hold on, where's my little pointer? If you look in the back and down here, you can still see evidence of some of the green. Although by now, see, there's some definitely down in here. A lot of it's been covered, but that's what gives it this kind of skin-like appearance, is having that green shine through on the model. It works for Caucasian skin. It doesn't work so well for non-light skin tones. All right, what is next? All right, so then we're going to go ahead and go with this bright Cador red. It's pretty bright. I might have to, you know what, I might do a wash of Druchii over this first in some crevices. I've got a little bit of purple. This is where I'm Shoshifying. This isn't what Angel has done. The smaller ones are my favorites though. That being said, you could just mount it onto a pill bottle or something. The smaller holders. I get you. I get you. Ooh, yes, yes, yes. Look at what that purple has done immediately to my shadows. How quick is that, right? We can put it and just let that go into the crevices. Notice that I did not put it all over everything. I just put it in the crevices. Because if we put it over everything, it's going to tint everything a dark purple, and then it's also going to give us an extra layer I don't necessarily want. Okay, this is where I do want to be careful here. Yeah, let's go ahead and put this all over everything. See how it brings out the cracks in his hand? It's beautiful. I'm usually, not every time, but usually if you're watching me, I'm lazy and I'm impatient. And so I choose the techniques for myself, for my temperament. No apologies about it, because I don't have the patience to sit and glaze and glaze and glaze. And a lot of you who are painting gaming models, you don't either. You got jobs to go to, people, kids to feed, wives to go out with, husbands to go out with, partners, all that. See, I'm just going up against his knees a little bit. Let's do his face. See if I can make that. Oh yeah, that worked really, really well. See how those shadows just popped out. I love it. So I don't have a lot of GW paints, but I do have all their washes because I really love the formula and I love how fast I can make some of my techniques with, look at, see how that made a shadow all the way around the edge of his hair? And everywhere that I need things to, this coat is a surface. His skin is a surface. So I'm putting wash where the two surfaces meet. See, watch this. Boom. Instant shadow, instant shadow. There's a surface here. Go around the back. There we go. Right in between the two. And this key right there. That, I really love that. Okay, that all needs to dry. Dry completely before we even touch it with anything else. So that means we need to do a hairdryer. Stroke by stroke, he's coming alive. That's why you got to be like me, childless and single. I know. Right, but you still have other stuff that you want to do besides just paint minis, right? You don't want to just paint the same mini for a whole week, do you? Some people like to paint this, like Genuine can paint a mini for a whole month. I can't do it. I can't look at a mini for a whole month. I will lose my mind. All right, so let me go ahead and mute. I'm going to mute, and we're going to put this on a hairdryer. Hold on one second. Where's my mute? There we go. Oops, that's not the right one. Let me try this. There we go. Okay, I want to point some things out that I noticed that this Druchii Violet did to it. Can you guys see how shiny this dried? Sometimes that happens with inks as well. What it means is I probably need to shake this a little bit more because it's probably some of the matte medium that's in it has separated. But that's okay. We can always mattify this later. Hi, Dem. How are you? Hold on a second. I think I got a paper cut on, you know when you get a paper cut on your finger and then it itches? Yes, technology is amazing. I want to show you now. So we've got the shininess. That's okay, because by the time we get done with this, we're going to mattify it and it won't be shining. Besides having a little bit of shiny in a crease and in a, what do you call it? In a shadow. And there we go. There's some more. Ooh, yeah. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna paint. See how bright the next color is? If I want to mix those two together to make a mid-tone, I can. But I don't think I'm going to need to because red is a little bit transparent anyway. That's one of the reasons why it's difficult to paint, is because it's transparent. So let's go ahead and start painting. I'm starting on the apex of the muscle, right? So you're pulling that down to the bottom of that. Let me get more paint on my brush. Pulling that, there's a little bead of paint, and I'm pulling it down over it. There we go. And then his collarbone, obviously, there we go. And that is, it looks like it's drying a little bit more on the matte side, which is good. Hitting the apex of that muscle. Do you see where it's dark already? I'm leaving that there because look how dark the shadows are on his abs here. See? Because that zenithal light kind of shows us where to put our highlight. It's nice because we painted that thin second coat. Yes. Hi, all right, backside. How are you? There we go. Let's gradually in there. All of the Holtz Transistor. Thank you for the subscribe. 12 months. It's a full year, Holtz Transistor. Wait, did I miss somebody? I did. Rainer. I forgot to finish Rainer's name. It's probably because I was shouting him out. All right, Holtz Transistor, thank you for a full year. Does it feel like it's been a year? Yay. No, it's so great. Yes, give some hype. That's a big deal. So his face is absolutely shiny, and that's because of the wash. I'm looking at the apex of his neck there. Now, back in the back, I'm not going to mess with that too much. I want that to stay that more dark red so that everything else starts popping out. Now, under his cheekbones, of course, on his nose. When we're painting the face, painting the parts that are more forward, right? He's got very thick brows. And then the whole top of his head. I think I'll just move this around so that I can. So I start at the very top of his head. I want you to see where I'm starting. I'm starting at the top, and I will push the paint back up to the top so that it creates a little gradation. And it leaves that nice dark shadow. But the more important thing is that it gives us our volumes. See? Now, think about this tail as a cylinder. It's basically a curved cylinder. So I'm gonna put the light in. The light is gonna be up here. Here we go. Here's the light. Like I said, as if it's a cylinder. Now take your brush with water, and this is where we kind of feather it out so it doesn't have a line. Yeah, that worked. Hey, Pigeon. Pigeon, hold on. I want to show you. By the way, guys, if you haven't followed Raz Show on Instagram, I want to show you. He is my inspiration for this model right here. Isn't it great? He's a diamond geezer. He's a diamond geezer. Dem says you gotta go, but excellent sea paint. Aw, thanks so much. You stay safe also. You haven't loaded much art. That's true. You've got a lot of selfies going on right now. That's okay. A lot of selfies and food pics. But the art that is up there is really nice. So people will be able to enjoy it. All right, second coat of this red. Same thing. It looks like it's getting a little bit more bright. It doesn't feel a little bit more orangey because now it's like stained glass, so the next layer is going to have more red on it. Much better. We're doing Hellboy, pigeon. I got a little bit of red in between his abs, so I'm going to take a wet brush and take that out so that we don't lose it. All right, again, second coat on the top of his head, just in the center, because I want that part to be the brightest. A little bit on the top of his horns also. Let's go back to the tail. That's where we were working before. See? That's good. You started working out again? That's awesome. Yay. My husband's going to be buying some free weights because we can't go to the gym right now because of COVID. I bought a treadmill, but it's not going to help you build any muscles really. See how I'm hitting the apex of that. Speaking of muscles, Hellboy has some muscles. By hitting the top of the muscles there, making them look more defined. Same thing on this side. Start on the kneecap, that's the apex, and then push toward it, and the other muscle groups here. And it may need more than one coat. But you can see he's getting more red. So for his gun arm, that is like a cylinder, but there is a little bit of a definition right here. There's another muscle right there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, COVID's bad shape. Been getting some stuff for home as well. It's eating your mini funds. Oh no. Rumble says I've had one to paint since March. Been seeing a few painted. Oh, one of these to paint? Oh yeah, a lot of people have been painting them. This just happened to be what you call it? A commission for me from one of my friends. And so I thought I would paint it. All right, now on this fist. This is where we have to be careful because we don't want to get any of this bright red in the crevices of these cracks. And so we're going to go in and carefully paint a little bit on each broken spot. See? Very defined. Does anybody remember if is his arm supposed to have some kind of horns on it? Because they're cut as well, like his top horns. There we go. I just put a quick little brush stroke on that. Okay, so there's a big spot right here. But then it starts to go down to the cracks. P3 paint's one of those paints that actually is a little bit better when you're not using a wet palette. It won't separate because it's liquid pigment, but it's actually better with a well palette. See how that looks? Each little crevice. You gotta entertain the cat. Some people are having a difficult time getting out of their gym contracts and still having to pay. Yeah, tell me about it. My gym contract, I have to go there and request to get out of it, which is like, and in writing. I have to go there and request in writing that I want out of it, which is annoying. Because I haven't obviously been there in a while because of COVID. It's crazy. Okay, can you see how I'm still being really careful. I'm not slathering paint everywhere. I'm painting each little space as if it's its own coloring book section. That's probably a good way to think about it. Look at how defined it is. Now this is where I gotta be very careful. In here where he's got a couple little wrist crevices here. Turn the model around. It's easier to turn the model than it is to turn the brush. I'm using a very pointed brush, by the way. There are a few little cracks on the parts on his hand. I'm doing my best to try to get those without painting over them. Okay, so as we're wrapping around, less light is going to start hitting this model, so I can paint that red a little bit thinner and it can stay a little bit darker. Don't have to fuss about it as much. Let's get the fingers. Just like this. His fist doesn't have horns, just big disc knuckles. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Good to know. Thank you for that. All right, backside. Disc knuckles, that's a new term. All right, let's flip that. Get this thumb. All right, there we go. That is step 2. Now with this same red, I can come back in here and just try to get a little bit of that red to be a little bit brighter on the top. And at this point, I can even see how I'm wicking this across real quick. That's my, like, it's overbrushing is what it's called. All right, this is the trick, okay? I am going to pick out one of these. I think we're gonna use cadmium skin. See how orangey it is? It's very orangey. This is gonna be our highlight, and then we're gonna glaze it back. If I can get it to come out, hold on. I can tell that he's used that in a few places here, especially on the arm. Okay. Now, this is where I thin this out a lot with a little water. And I'm gonna go and I'm gonna edge highlight. The edge of these panels. Just consider, imagine that they're panels. Okay. Again, a very, very sharp brush. There we go. This kind of like methodical lining can be very zen, and it's really good for you to practice, especially if you do Space Marines. Okay, notice I'm not doing it every single place. I'm not going over here as much, maybe a little bit more. Where is the light hitting? The light is gonna definitely hit on the top of this rim right there. See, I'm imagining that my eyes are the light, and where am I able to see that you can kind of tell where is the overhead light causing a little bit of a reflection. See? Now over here. Ooh. We need a little bit more water because these lighter pastel paints tend to dry very fast. And you might need a little slow dry or a little thinner or something to help keep your paint the right consistency. I just use water, but I'm not the best at this kind of lining either. What did I miss? Have I ever tested with oil paint? Yes, I have, but I don't use it a lot because oil paint can be toxic, and I also am very impatient, and I have a trouble waiting for things to dry. Okay, so there's the crack. Oh, see, that's too thick. Too thick. Let's try this again. I'm gonna start edging the inside of these panels. If I mess up a little bit, I'm not gonna go crazy about it. And where I choose to put my light has to do with, if I were sun, would I hit the bottom of it or would I hit the top? I kind of think about where would it go? Germany, the gyms are open and you go 3 times a week. Wow. You're lucky, Okami. The red is so wreck. Red? Oh, so red. Oh, just wait. We're not even done with how red this red is. Okay, so watch what I'm going to take my side of my brush and go around the little disc. Now the light's bending over the side of that knuckle a little bit. This is just one step. And then definitely see, I use the side of my brush again. Same thing up here. Oops, I need a little bit more on my brush. And then, oop, more water. Oh, I love it. So get the side of that. And notice I'm picking out the top. Now on some of these little discs, like our red backs I was talking about, there are little cracks, so we're gonna add those as well. Okay, fingers. So tricky. Like I said, this is a lot more tedious than just like a quick dry brush. But when you see why I've got to do it this way, you'll like it. Okay. It is drying very fast on my brush though. There we go. Okay. Now, this is where I take a little bit of my red. I think I'm going to use this red. Do I want to use the red ink or no? Ooh, maybe I will use the red ink. Just a smidge. I'm going to take the red ink. I'm going to thin it out. And then let's see what happens. Hopefully this is bone dry. And then spread this over. I'm going to use the paint instead. I'm going to use thin paint instead. Oh yeah, I like the thin paint much more. The glaze of paint is a lot more vivid than the ink. And I think I could probably go up in value even more, maybe with some orange. Okay, but I need to let that dry completely first. So we have the start of it. I think orange was the way to go. Let's do that. I've got some Ember Orange from P3. It might not be bright enough. We'll see. It's got a little yellow in it. Ooh, it needs to be opened. Been forever. Sorry, looks awesome. Aw, thank you, Valorous. There we go. You stopped at the CC Creaturecaster website. They have so much news and you can't have it all. Okay, that's a bright. That's nice. I like that orange. Okay, let's try it. So I'm going to take some of this orange and I'm going to use this at the top of the highlight. So the top of his pectoral muscle here is where the light is. This is where the sunlight is. Right? So I don't want a lot. And then I'm going to bring it down a little bit. Same thing on this side. Now, this Ember Orange is a little bit transparent, which is great because it blends nice. Same thing on his collarbones. And then, again, only at the top of the pectorals. Or these are the abdominals. I'm sorry. Abdominals. Okay. Now we get it's a pretty dark contrast. I'm going to take a little bit of this red ink that I put on my palette. Hopefully that's dry enough. And just glaze that over the orange. Yep, that works so much better than the peach. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And if I need to, I can come back in and blend a little bit with my red paint as well. So I get a little bit more. Isn't that nice? Love it. Okay, back to the orange. Small highlight right there. Now the face is real important because the highlights are small. But where we put them is really important because this one, yeah, that juts out really, really far here. There's a little bit of a line right there. Look at that. Can you guys see it? Very nice. And again, on the top. Let's do the, can't see. You won't be, there we go. Notice how much smaller this orange highlight is than the red. Let's fuzz out that with a little bit of wet brush. And I'm going to use a little bit of ink on here because it is having trouble. There we go. That works. All right, I'm putting the ink on his face now over that orange. I might have the wrong ink. Oh no, that looks good. It creates a filter, but it brings all your, it looks like skin, doesn't it? Yeah, no problem. You don't have to be sorry for being late. All right, I'm going to take this orange again. Try to get crevices painted once again. We already kind of have an orange outline going on. So I'm overbrushing a bunch. Okay. I really like how that looks. I'm going to use the peach again. And this time, I'm just going to hit that peach right on the highest highlights. So hopefully that will pop that much more. And you know how when you edge highlight on a Space Marine, you might use like a white. This is the equivalent of that. This peach that I'm using here is cadmium skin. And I'm using it to pop out those final highlights. See that? How I put that where the edge of the, there we go. It's looking really nice. The cracks in his arm are lighter than all the stuff. Now I can put a little bit of this peach on his bottom lip because that's a hard edge. Maybe a little bit of orange. And the same thing goes with other parts of his face. Let's get a little peach on his nose since that is, there we go. Now, his eyes are super dark, super dark. I'm going to take white. Am I going to take white or am I going to take yellow? Nope, I'm going to take straight up yellow. This is hopefully a nice, I might have to add a little bit of peach to it to get it to be opaque. It's a really nice bright yellow though. I'm going to add a little peach to it. And I'm going to come in here super carefully. And get his yellow eye. Once I have that first dot down, I can, notice how I can hold on to the holder. And it'll give me a little bit more stability. Let's flip it upside down. Again, I can hold the holder and then I can rest my hand on my other hand. Let's do a little bit more yellow on that one. Ooh, that one's pretty big. Let's try. So one eye is good, one eye is kind of slobby. So I'm going to take just a little bit of this black and I'll fix the yellow on the other eye. You will see. I'm just going to make it a little bit smaller. There. That is perfect. And because I like how that black underline the yellow looks, I'm going to give it another. Makes the yellow pop out a little bit more. Except for I did just mess up a little bit. There we go. So I just tweaked it so it looks good now. Can you guys see the eyes? You feel sorry for Peachy? He must miss Duncan? I don't even know what you mean. Tricks of the trade, exactly, yep. He does have a little bit of a scowl line. Because Hellboy is sort of a grumpy guy. And then we can glaze it with the red. Okay. I think I need some peach on the top to match his arm. That's perfect. All right, we've got a lot of the reds almost done. Let's go ahead back with the orange on his knees. Ooh, the orange got a little bit watered down on my wet palette. That's what I don't like about P3s and a wet palette. Just keep that and let that dry. And again, a little bit with that highlight down the middle of his tail. Okay, that looks awesome. Take this peach on the ends of his kneecaps. Okay, that looks pretty dang good. Now I'm going to glaze with the red paint over the knee. Thin, thin, thin. See how it looks like a bright red now? Perfect. I'm going to glaze his lip. It looks a little bit bright. And I'm noticing some of his other parts of his skin are a little bit, they need to be a little bit bright. Okay. That I'm fairly happy with. Wait till you see what we do with the rest. All right, so the next layer is going to be his pants, because the coat is over the pants, and so we need to get out some grays, gray blues. I'm going to start with, I think probably this dark gray blue, and then we'll get into like lighter, more, let's see what this looks like. Okay, yeah, that's about perfect. So what I plan to do is I'm going to mix this color with some of this peach. Let's see what happens. That could end up being my highlight for my pants. Yeah, possibly. Although I think it actually might need a little white with it, because it's a little bit, it needs to be desaturated a little bit more. White and black desaturate. Play some Japanese metal? Okay, let's play some Japanese metal. Hang on a second. Let me find one. Here's a good one. Nope, that's not it. Sorry. Hold on. This one. This is Japanese metal. Here we go. All right, so we need to leave a lot of our black that's already in here. So I'm just going to start painting these pants blue. Yeah, that looks good so far. I like that color. It needs to be desaturated, but we'll do that later. This is where I have to be real careful. See that? Get the edge of those pants. Leave that black hiding. And I might even put that dark gray back there. I just add a little black here. It's just a little bit here. Okay. Something I just noticed is that some of the black is missing. So I'm going in here and I'm just going to put the black in where it needs to be, in the darkest crevices. flip it. We're gonna flip it. See how that creates that real dark kind of cartoon shadow? But because we've got our zenithal in there, it shows us where to paint that dark color. There we go. So we're getting some of our dark back. And there's black above and below these belts. Okay. Ooh, I just found another spot that needs it right here. Okay, and the last spot, I want to get into these creases in his coat. That looks good. Nice and sharp. All right, so the pants are not done, so let's go ahead and we're going to add some of that peach. I turned a little bit green. I think I need white. Or actually, I'm not going to use white. I'm going to use ivory. That's something I know that Angel doesn't do. He doesn't use white unless he really, really has to. He'll use ivory first. Oh yeah, that's the color I need. Okay, so we're going to highlight the apex of the little folds. Tiny folds on his pants. Yay! We have a follower. Chaos Killer 7214. How are you? What happened? Valorous blinded in that eye. No BB guns. Oh yeah. Wow. Wait. You guys got into an interesting. Pretty certain Spuggy went missing in every episode. Spooky? Spuggy? You guys are funny. I don't even know what you're talking about, but it sounds interesting. Oh man, I'm sorry to hear about your dad. That's a very unfortunate accident. I can see why he wouldn't allow those as when you were kids. I wasn't allowed to have any kind of squirt guns or anything either. But that was because my dad was a pacifist. There we go. There was some nice highlights on those pants right there. They're a little bit light, but I could always go back over it with a little blue. Oh, that looks good to me. Something I'm noticing about his toes. This is interesting. So I'm going to paint his hooves completely black to start. And the way Angel has painted them, it's almost like non-metallic metal, so. I'll add a little bit of red. Oh wait, those are shoes. Those are not, okay. Don't want to get too ahead of myself. Get the other toes. They're toeless boots is what he's got because he has hooves, but he does have boots on. Let's get the back of this highlight a little bit. Ooh, that's too bright. That's good enough. All right, now I want to show you, this is what we're going for here. He's got a lot of browns from here on out. So we're gonna do the whole bit of his belt. There's a lot of details. I need a darker brown though. Here's a darker brown. Nice. Hellboy, always a badass hero. He is. I agree. Let's go ahead and paint this holster with the dark brown. And then he's got a belt that's brown as well. I'm just going to go ahead and paint everything with this dark brown, and then we're going to do all the highlights after the fact. Because I think that's going to work best. I just found his little rosary beads. He's got a, he's got a rosary and a cross. That is interesting. Okay, back here, put some of that brown on the back of his coat. Put it all on there. And then I'll go ahead and paint most of his shoes as well. There's cat hairs going everywhere. Hold on. Cat hair, no. It's all, there we go. Hold on, let me take him out and see if I can't. There we go, I got rid of him. That's better. Much better. Did I blackline the mini? I did blackline it. We blacklined it on the pants. Can you tell what a color is by looking at a poster, or do you have a color list you're working? I can tell. I have a really good knack for being able to match, color match. So I can tell you that this red is probably like this red right here. And then maybe this orangey red would be like right here, right? And then this orange glaze is up here, and then we glaze the red over it to get it to blend in. Does that make sense? Valerie says the latest movie I had a lot of elements from the comics, and you were happy to see. So I watched the first Hellboy movie, but do you remember? Is it the name of the guy who did the first Hellboy movie. He did like Pan's Labyrinth and some other movies, and I just don't like his style. Does anybody know his name? Guillermo del Toro. Thank you, Mauser Schmuel. I think it's too scary for me. It's funny that, you know. Okay, so I can see where the black got a little heavy. And I lost, there we go, some of the red. That's better. Gotta go back in here with this brown. Okay. There's a lot of layers on this bell. I can see that. I'm going to try to paint it with as quick of a technique as I can. Okay. All right, so I've got the dark brown. Now I've got some Xandri dust, and I have some Karak stone, but the Xandri dust is probably, I could mix this with the brown. Let's shake this a little bit. Xandri dust is a really beautiful color. It's got some yellow in it. That's going to be perfect for his. Let's mix these two together to get a dark brown. I mixed my umber and the Xandri dust to try to make a new color. And now again, highlighting up. I'm just going to put this everywhere. You might have a highlight. Ooh, I'm losing it. It's a little dark, but it's okay. Yeah, I like that so far. Put that all over these leathers. A little bit more brown in that one. This is where we start to get a little bit more picky. All right, this is the Xandri dust mix. One thing I'm noticing is that on Hell, can you guys see this? He does a stippling effect like that. And so it's not flat paint because it's leather. It's got a little texture to it. It's going to make it easier to blend that way too. So I'm going to attempt to do that. One thing I'm noticing right away, I need to get now just straight Xandri dust, and this is where we're just going to put in those little dots. Little dots. He's got a lot of them. And I'm painting in those highlights with the dots. just the straight up Xandri dust there. Uh-oh, I think we lost our music. Time to put more music on. Hold on 1 second. There we go. Citadel Air comes in very big pots, which is really nice because it's probably the same amount of paint. I honestly think it's the same amount of paint as this, but it's thinned out and put in a bigger pot for twice as much. I am not a fan of the pricing. Yeah, you're right. Everything he makes is essentially real. I totally agree. All right, backside. Yes, we have had the Yiddish word of the day. The Yiddish word of the day is kvel, which is kind of close to proper chuffed, or voller Zolz, or stoffen, which I think is the Finnish translation. I want to see what happens if I use, I don't have any regular Xandri dust. I just have the air, unfortunately. That's okay. All right. Now I'm going to mix a little bit of ivory with this Xandri dust to get a little bit more opaque. Oh yeah, this is it. Watch this. This is when it gets crazy. I'm just touching the brush on those areas that gets highlights with the ivory mixed in. Pops. Need a little bit more Xandri dust for over here. Ah, there we go. It's crazy. Okay, again, this is just the ivory on top of that, hitting the most bright highlights. I don't usually have the patience for this kind of work, but I'm trying to do it. So we are doing a breakdown of what WWAD, what would Angel do? Ooh, I like that. My brush got kind of a little bit split up, and it all right, now there's a little red glowing dot here in the middle of his belt. I'm just going to hit it with some red ink and a little bit of this peach right here on the top. Ooh, I need to let it dry. Let that dry. It's like a little light. I'm going to add a little bit of yellow to my Xandri dust because I feel like my Xandri dust wasn't Wasn't yellow enough. There we go. Oh my gosh. See, now we're getting some of the colors in here of the coat. Get a little black in there. I'm wet blending it. There we go. Okay, Xandra Dress plus a little yellow. And I'm just going to go ahead. Ooh, that's too much yellow. There we go. Paint this whole coat. I love it. Look at how that makes that red pop. I might need to dark line this after the fact because I think we're going to lose some of our black shadows for sure. Let's see, you guys can see it right about there. Take DC, for instance. The animated feature films and TV shows are all written wonderfully. The blockbuster theatrical releases are all terrible. Why can't we get the same writing from animated releases in the blockbuster movies? That's a good question. I don't know. I think it has to do with the studios, to be honest, because, you know, I bet they try to change stuff too much. There we go, Xandra dust. All right, I'm gonna put some more yellow in that. There we go. I'm just brushing this over the white. Leave some of that black in there, right? All right. I wish I could see the back of his coat a little better, because I don't have a model. I don't have a turnaround. 360. There we go. That's what I meant. All right, let's see what happens when I add a little bit of this brown in here. Is that going to give me my drop shadow that I need? Maybe. So this is wet blending. I rinsed my brush, and now I'm going to come in here and wet blend that shadow in. It doesn't really work for me. Let me try a different color. Maybe I'll just add a wash. There we go. Shall we take a stretch break in a second here? What do you guys think? Okay, I like that. That is coming along. Nice and beautiful. A little bit more yellow in that. He's looking like Hellboy. So it's looking like we're going to be able to finish Hellboy by the end of the stream. So I might just start the Bug Fairy next time. That's what I've got to work on next. Does that sound okay? Or would you guys like to see me work on Song of the Forest? Song of the Forest is the best that I have started. It's almost done. Well, it's not almost done actually. It's got quite a bit, but it's pretty far along. And then I also have, like I said, the Bug Fairy, which we're going to be working on later this month, no matter what. We just have extra days for her. Good afternoon, Pun Expected. Ghost Rider is the best Marvel movie ever. What do you think of Nick Cage, though? Do you think he was good? We want to make sure your hand's not crapping. So far, my hand is good. I want to at least get this base coat in here, and then we can take a stretch break. Okay. Let's flip it again. Now it looks like he's used a little bit of greens. Maybe he's used black. Hold on, let me try mixing. Maybe black, that's what that is. Let's try it. Yep, that's what it is, it's black. I like it actually. Oops, I got some on his tail. Poop. See that? That greenish yellow color? Pretty good. That goes real well. Let's do more. Yeah, that looks great. I don't usually use black in my shadows, so that's interesting. It's nice and trench coaty green. I made sort of a khaki color. And then when we highlight with the regular color, it'll look really good. Here we go. Let's do it on the front. Wait. More black. Okay. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous, that green. And it contrasts with the, so when you mix black and yellow together, did you know that it makes a green color? A real nice olive or ochre, possibly. So that green is contrasting excellent with his red skin, and it's making his skin look that much more red. It's subtle. I'm going back in here and reshading down all the areas here with this kind of, yes, oh my God, I love it. This green trench coat color. Makes me wish I had started with that color. Yep. That's gorgeous. Okay, bear with me. I'm going to check chat in 1 second. I'm just going to go back in here. Oh, Reaper Minis, thank you so much for the host or for the raid. Guys, welcome everybody from Reaper Miniatures, and everybody in chat who's already here. Say hello. Follow Reaper Miniatures. We are painting Hellboy. He's a little shiny right now. I'm going to put some not gloss effects. We're going to put matte. This is it. Anti-shine. We're going to put anti-shine on it. So a bunch of people in chat are talking currently about movies. Defend with the geckos, yes. All right, I'm going to take a little bit of this matte. It's anti-shine. It's from Army War Painter. And I'm going to go into his belly and just put it all over his skin. Because I think I went a little crazy with that Druji Violet and it maybe got a little too shiny. Let's put it on his face too. Yeah, that's much better. Wow, I can already tell the difference. How's everybody doing from Reaper Minis? What have you guys been doing? How was the Reaper stream? We've got we're using a whole bunch of different paints right now. Got some Xandri Dust, we're using P3 and Game Color and Citadel and Monument. I don't really have one paint I'm using today. All right, let's go back in here now. We're going to take the Xandri Dust and go on all of our highlights because we put that lovely dusty color down. There we go. See how we can make that pop, that highlight. Love it. See that? I'm kind of doing a little bit of an overbrushing right now because we sort of painted the shadows down already. Isn't that lovely? Oh, I gotta get back in here. We're very close to being done with him. We've got to paint his feet and his weapons. Okay, now this is going to make it pop even more. Add a little bit of ivory to our Xandri Dust to make a lighter Xandri Dust. This is going to go on edges that are really going to pop. So like the whole edge of his coat, right? Where the coat is open, and then on the apex of the brightest highlights. Might need a little bit more Xandri Dust on that one. Okay, let's take a look at chat. You'd be happy with the script. Everybody's talking about the movies. They also need to stop making every film either an overblown origin story. Right, Mauser, that's my opinion. Tarragon said that, how is the lion coming along? Oh, I finished the lion. Do you guys want to see it? Let me show you the lion. It looks amazing. Let me see some emotes if you want to see it. I need to varnish him. That's not it. Oh, and I finished, Oh, I finished a couple other things too. I want to show you guys all the things. These are going to go, so I want to show you these Nurgle guys. I finished the third Nurgle. You guys have seen me paint. These are going to go up on blind auction this month. These two you guys saw me paint live, and then I painted this one on my own. There he is. He's the last one. They look awesome. I probably need to go back in there on that base a little bit more. 3 Nurgle Dreadnoughts. These are going to go up on blind auction, so if you ever wanted your own custom, very custom, because look at, they're all scratch built. They're all, not scratch built, scratch modified? I don't know what the correct. You love the bubbly vomit? I know. Yeah, it came out really good. I need to go over it with some gloss. But yeah, this one is more chaos. This one is more Zinj. And I would say this one is more maybe straight up Nurgle, possibly. But yeah, those, okay, so those are one thing that I'm going to be doing for the auction. Hold on. And then I've got the lion. I have a lot of amazing pieces that I'm going to do in the blind auction. Okay, this is the lion. Kit Bash, that's right, Kit Bash. Okay, so here's the base. Aw, Manfadi, thank you for your Twitch Prime subscription. You are awesome. Not only do you get ad-free viewing, but you get all my emotes, and on the 1st, we have a follower giveaway, and on the 16th, closest stream to it anyway, we have a subscriber giveaway, and our subscriber giveaway prizes are always amazing. Manfadi, thank you. Hi for Bunny. Hi, I like your name. That's so cute. All right, so this is the base. Got a little bit of dust on it, but you can see the dead Night Lords. And then here is, oh, let me take this off. Here is the lion without his head. And his base is fully magnetized as well. So that can be removed, and then I need to give him a little bit of fixative so he can be played with. So this goes right here like this. And then this clips on, oh, his head is on there. It clips on to keep the base on. Whoops, maybe not. Hold on. There we go. Just like that. Magnetized. Boop. Okay, so this is the coolest part about it. I magnetize everything. So I magnetize both of his, they're not gonna fit, they're not gonna get on there very well. Hold on. Get the magnet to fit there. There's his scabbard. And I think that scabbard goes with this set of hands. Ooh. There we go. Like that. And then that head, just like that. Okay. He's so rare. And then, if you don't like that, you can take that head off and that scabbard, and you can put this scabbard on instead. And then this set of hands with the chainsaw, and then he has this helmeted head, which I like that one a lot. Oh no, his leg just broke. Oh no. What I would, maybe you can pin it. All right, backside. Those Nurgle Dreads definitely won me over, not gonna lie. Aw, thank you. And then I left these on the base in case the owner, because the guy who commissioned me, let me show you the back. of his cloak. Came out really nice and beautiful. So this is a commission. And so he's going to his home in Australia is where he belongs. Okay, and then I'm going to put that in the box. So I just need to spray some fixative, and he gets to get it photographed, and he's going to go home, and I'll be posting the photographs online. I'm going to show you 2 other pieces that are going to be for blind, actually 3 other pieces that are going to be for blind auction. You guys may or may not have known that I'm going to auction these pieces. You have seen me paint these. I'm going to be blind auctioning this beautiful orc girl, and look at this base. Isn't that gorgeous? This is Nataku from Big Child Miniatures. And then I'm also going to be doing a blind auction of the Prince of Kunlun. Isn't that gorgeous? And it comes on this little plinth. And, forgot about this girl. This is a Kingdom Death. How cute is she? Holy Mage. Kingdom Death. So all of these are going to be blind auction with those Nurgle this month. And so you'll get to bid, and the way the blind auction works is that you get to choose what you feel like you can afford. And so if you can afford $10, somebody will probably outbid you. But if nobody does, then you get that model. The way that works, the reason I do it like that is because I don't like top donor. Because what happens with top donor is, let's say I had a model, let's say this is a model, and I put it up for auction, and everybody bids on it, and they're giving me donations for it, and the top donation wins. It's not like a regular auction where in a regular auction, if you don't win, you don't pay. So that's why I do the blind auction. So that way, if you don't win, you don't pay. And if you do win, you pay only what you can afford. So nobody sees what other people have been bidding. Aw, Chewy Boots, thank you for the follow. Welcome. Fishy, yeah, exactly. Fishy Pigeon Prince. I like that. You can have your own Fishy Pigeon Prince. But yeah, we've had a lot of people really like the blind auction because that way they get a painted mini that is painted by me. They get a collector's piece, and they've only paid what they feel like they can afford. So now on the 2 bigger ones, the Prince and the Orc, I will have a minimum on those. There will be a minimum, but I'll post that so you'll know what the minimum is. So that means if you don't think you can afford the minimum, then you won't need to bid on it. So, oh man, try getting some, replace the ankles altogether if you can. That's what I did with Tinkerbell's bird legs. Replace them with thick wire. That's what I would do. All right, backside. You have enough of my collectible Shoshie pieces. Can you have enough collectible Shoshie pieces? Is that possible? Let's do a quick stretch break while we're up. Let's just, because my back is feeling a little bit crimped up and my apron is coming off. Ow! Let's retie this. Guys, have you seen this schmutz apron? Schmutz. Okay. We're going to do a stretch break. I always do a little self-hug. It stretches things out. That's better. So we do them live on stream, and I put up a Google form. I'll post that on all my social media, a Google form that you can fill out. I haven't got it up yet. When I get it up, it'll have pictures and everything. So If you're not following me, see up here, all my social media are at Shoshie's Minis. Right here, Shoshie's Minis. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, not LinkedIn. I don't remember why my designer put LinkedIn. I don't use LinkedIn. YouTube and Twitch are all at Shoshie's Minis. So I probably won't post on YouTube about it, but I'll definitely post on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram about it. The body and the legs are cast in one piece. So just chop them. Chop them. You should try out 3D printer resin on a cast resin model. See how it works. That'd be interesting. Yeah, let us know how that works. All right. Okay, look at that. The Hellboy model, that anti-shine really made a big difference, didn't it? It looks really good now. I kind of want to put a little bit more on the skin because that ink was kind of shiny. Let's do that. And where's my brush? I always set it down. Okay. A little bit more on his chest and face. This is anti-shine that I'm putting down because we used a Drucci Violet and it got a little crazy. Drucci Violet is beautiful for shading, but sometimes if you get too much, it will dry shiny, which is what happened. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to continue highlighting up my ivory on some of these pieces here. Here, wait, I need to add a little bit more Xandri dust. See how bright those highlights are? That looks awesome. It's Xandri dust and ivory together. Beautiful. And a little bit of yellow with that. Yellow is I'm learning that yellow brightens things quite a bit. It adds luminosity that a lot of times you need when you're painting minis. Add yellow to something, not white. It will add vibrance. Boom. Can't wait for this one to hit YouTube so I can show it to a friend who loves Hellboy but can't make stream times. Yes, definitely show your friends this video. I'm so sorry, Alright Backside. That stinks. Thank you, Art Galaxius. How are you? Welcome. Oop. Okay, let's paint. I noticed his little buttons. I need more black. A Reaper miniature color. Black. Dragon black. And put this on. And thank you for the follow, Chimera MTG. Welcome. Okay, so just gonna go in straight with black. And you know what? I really wanna I'm gonna go in with black and just get in some of these shadows because I feel like I lost my shadows. It's a little bit difficult to paint down once you've already highlighted, but we can do it. We can do it. Ah! All right, that was a little heavy. And I use the water to kind of wick that up into the shadow there. That's much better. There, and if I need to, I can always, you know what, I kind of want to use my transparent black from Monument. What I like about transparent blacks is it acts like a watercolor. It really does. So this is transparent black from Monument. I am sponsored by them. If you've not checked out Monument paints before, picked up the wrong thing. Oh yeah, that is beautiful right there. If you've not used Monument paints, I have an affiliate link down below where if you also use their coupon code Shoshie sent me, you can get 15% off on your first order. But this is the transparent black, and it will dry completely matte, which is another reason why I really like it. And I'm going in here to dark line with it. I'm going to have to dark line everything, I think. Okay. Do you guys see this bright peach light right there? What I was waiting for that to dry so I could glaze a little bit of red over the top of that. Because look at that pop right there. Let's do a little bit over here too. Pop. Okay. More black all up in my shadows. I love this. Okay, that is so much better. Where do I go to make a bid? Okay, yeah, we already answered that. Boom, pops right out of there. I know it does. Okay, again with the transparent black, gonna go back in and dark line around the arm. And up here under the sleeve, all of this. One thing about Hellboy is that it is a very stylized cartoon. So if you go ahead and add a lot more of that black lining to it, it fits really well with how the cartoon is drawn. See? Manfadi, thank you so much for following. This is awesome. You subscribing and following. Love it. All right, I'm going to flip this around. Try to get a little bit of black under the tail. That's a drop shadow right there. Because the transparent black is transparent, if I add a little water right here, it'll feather out like a watercolor and just be gorgeous. See that? He forgot that step. That's okay. Fold on the back of the cloak. Looks like a face. It does. Ha! That's funny. It does. It looks like a wicked little face, huh? Well, when I start putting a few more of these other folds in, maybe it'll calm down. See, this is still the transparent black, but because I can get that transparent layer. See, watch, I put that black down. Now I feather it out. And it's like a watercolor, which is how I began painting. I started out as a watercolorist way before I ever started painting miniatures. That is my background. All right, go back in here with the Xandri dust because we lost some highlights again. Funk Drunk, thank you so much for following. Welcome. It's a funny name, huh? Don't say that while you're drunk. You'll probably say something else. See, what's also nice about the transparent black is it's relatively easy to cover with other paints. Let's get in here with that lighter ivory. Let's see. Okay, so now I'm thinking about where those brighter ivory highlights are going to be. Oops. I messed up right there. There we go. Let's mix Xandri dust with that ivory. All the edges, right? All the edges of the cloak. Cloak, coat, that's what I meant. So, does anybody remember, did Hellboy come out in the 90s? That was like the height of trench coats. Everybody I knew who read comics had a trench coat, a black trench coat or a regular trench coat of some kind. It was a aesthetic. Okay, there we go. The guy who I'm painting this for is actually one of my old comic book buddies, from the 90s. Like, I've known him since, God, 1991 or 2? Oh my gosh, I feel old now. Yeah, I've known him forever, and he still likes comic books. Did I lose my music again? What time is it? It is 4, it's almost 5 o'clock. That's okay. Let's check chat. Yep, 1990s, 93. Aha, 93 was it. Oh, that's when some of you were born. I know, I'm not going to name any names, but I know at least one of you is a 93 baby. He loved his first 2 movies. Yeah, we were talking about how I didn't really, I mean, Guillermo del Toro just scared me. His movie Pan's Labyrinth, the creature with the eyeballs in his hands, I can't look at that thing. And then I also can't look at the Tooth Fairy that he did for Hellboy. It's too scary. By the way, notice that I'm going back over my ivory a little bit with some of that Xandri dust. I need some yellow. Hit that edge. Looking good. Okay, I really do see more yellow in this. Yeah, I'm just gonna mix it in. It's looking really pretty. Oh, okay, so let's look at these buttons that we painted black. So we need to put some blue on there. We need to leave a little bit of black on the bottom though. Oops. Yep. London Fog, yes. You were in high school? When was I? I was in college. I was in college when Hellboy came out. Either that, yeah, no, I was absolutely in college when Hellboy came out. Pan's Labyrinth scared me so bad. The Tooth Fairy, I know it is, Transistor, and I don't like it at all. Okay, so here's some blue on the gun. We're going to slowly add some ivory to it. I'm adding a little bit more ivory each time. This is straight up ivory right here. Okay. I'm going to blend this in this side. Now I need that transparent black because that's going to go right here by the barrel right there. And here as well with some blue mixed in. I'm going to go back to the black. Okay. That needs to dry. There needs to be black up in here. I can use it seems like the transparent black is a little bit darker. Oop. Okay. You saw it at the cinema? You agreed, Valor? Valor says Mimic was great. Oh, I did not see that. I just don't... Guillermo del Toro's movies freak me out, guys. I don't know. I'm such a wiener. You've seen someone... I know, Teviston, Jan just recently did. It's just a coincidence because this is a commission of mine. I think it was really funny that he already did his. I think this is already done. So remember what we talked about, painting the edges. Always paint the edges of your metals white. So get this white right there. Ooh! Flip. Hold on to your brush while you paint. That's kind of a tip. I wish they had transparent white sometimes. I'm going to try to put this on here. That works. Okay. Let's add some blue on here. Yeah, that helped it. That smoothed it out. I'm just going to put blue in some of the other parts of this firearm. A little black in the recesses. Okay, go back to the front because that's the part I have the actual reference for. And his revolver gun handle is black with brown. The other side. Ooh, I guess there isn't a, yeah, there is a little bit over here. You saw another artist paint the tooth fairy with whole, I know, ew, I can't. So I think the reason why I don't like the tooth fairy is like teeth scare me. Like if you see people with pulled teeth, and I had dreams where my teeth fall out, it's just not, it doesn't work for me. Yeah. You know how some people don't like eyeballs? I don't like teeth. Okay, so watch the top of this gun here. I'm just using the side of my brush. See how I use the side of my brush to get that line? And now I flipped it this way. I'm not changing my brush. I'm changing the edge, or the model. I changed the side, the way the model is going. And it looks like he's got little reflections going down it. I'm going to make them a little thicker, and then I'm going to take this black and I'm going to put that in the middle. Because it's a transparent black, again, I can make it much more blendy. Yeah, that looks cool. Let's put this black right here too. Right under those shadows. Okay, more white. Again, we gotta be very carefully painting around the edges of things. And then the top of this. See how we're following the light now? That's a little blingy bling part right there. And I need to get back in here with this black right here because I got a little too much white. Speaking of white, right next to that white, I'm going to put some of that black. So nice. All of this gets a white outline. And I guess if you want to make it look a little bit more metallic here, add some more blue. Yeah, that looks good. Now he's got some, here's something else. He's done a little scratches and things with the white. I'm caught, by the way, for those of you guys who are just joining, I'm kind of copying on Hell. All this is his box art right here. This is what I'm trying to replicate. It's coming along pretty good. Okay. All right, does that look like a gun? That looks like a gun to me. Need a little bit more blue in some spots. He is a master of non-metallic metal, and I'm just copying him. So don't think that I always know what I'm doing with this. I'm mainly faking it, right? So, but you can learn a lot by copying. And I do it to show other people, like, this is how to deconstruct somebody else's. When you learn how to deconstruct somebody else's paint, you can pretty much start figuring out why did they do that? Okay, that's why. Oh, did we just get some bits? Rumble, thank you so much for cheering. You just shared rewards to 3 others in chat. Oh, that's awesome. It's tough to choose. Favorite horror movies? Oh my gosh. So, God, I don't even have a favorite horror movie because I'm not a horror movie person. Well, I want to hear what your favorite horror movies are. And from what I've been told, there's a lot of really good new horror stuff coming out on TV. There we go. All right, so same thing with this. This is going to have a little gun barrel thing. And then that's going to blend into the blue. And then it's going to go black. Oh, we gotta put the white on the sides. Watch this. As soon as I do this, it's going to look more realistic. Okay, let's try to do, there was black on either side. There we go. This is the transparent black, so it's a little difficult to get to completely black. There we go. I think I need to mix a little blue and a little white, and let's just blend this a smidge more. Now just blue, and we're just going to glaze that right over the top of that. No, that didn't work at all. Now I have to start over. Start the white again. Let's just try to blend the white down. That seems better. That blue was too opaque to go over that white. There we go. Much better. Ah, there we go. That's what I wanted. It's difficult to paint non-metallic metal on stream because it's a little tedious and it's a little boring. But the result is very pretty. All right, a little bit of black right here. And then over here again. Nice. Shall we do his hair? Let's do his hair. We're gonna do, Mr. Knight 999. How are you? I wonder what Shoshie's Minnie's favorite horror is. Okay, let me think. Because I hate horror movies. Okay, it's not a horror movie. But my favorite horror movie is Lost Boys. It's not scary at all, but I love it. The Lost Boys. Can we debate over whether it's horror or not? There's actually some jump scares in it that are pretty scary. By the way, I'm painting his hair black. I can't remember if I grabbed transparent black or not. I think I did. I think I grabbed transparent black. Nice, Hellboy. Thank you, Mr. Knight. He is nice. The Lost Boys. It did scare you when you were little. Death by stereo. Yeah. No, I could quote most of that movie. I saw it. Okay, so I'm dating myself. I saw it 4 times in the theater. Like I didn't date myself before. I saw it 4 times in the theater. And I don't know if I was even 18 yet. And it was rated R. So let me see. When did Lost Boys come out? Okay. It came out in '87. So I probably just turned 18, which is why I went to see it. I know. I know. And I had the book and I had the poster in my room because I was obsessed with it. It had all the cute boys. Corey Haim and Corey Feldman are my age. I had the biggest crush on Kiefer Sutherland. You take yourself out for dates all the time. 30 Days of Night. So this transparent black came out real nice over here. Hold on. Let me dark line this. There we go. Dark line the whole collar. Yeah. Oh, I love The Lost Boys. And then, but that might have been the scariest movie that I would watch. Because vampire, it's almost like, I liked Blade. Did you guys like Blade? That wasn't a horror movie though, was it? That was more action. Any vampire stuff I loved. Because that was the 90s, right? Like the 90s, Vampire the Masquerade came out. And I was big into that. Big into that. Okay, so let me get his ears. Because it looks like I missed painting his ears, which is funny. This one's black. I have to wait for that to dry. Okay, now while his beard, I'm going to take some of this blue and I'm going to highlight on his black, just some of the parts of his beard here. And a little tiny bit of white it looks like there is. Maybe mix some of it with the blue. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, I need more blue. The blue is part of the reflection of his hair. There, his ears, there we go, that looks good. Oh, I love it. Now get some of that white again. Ooh, that's too much. Let's mix some blue into it. That might be a little bit much. We'll see. Hair is very similar to the non-metallic metal. So when we put in the white, it's to give it that little shiny, because black is very shiny, right? I like that. All right, what do we need to do? We need to, there's a little bit of black here. This is the transparent black. Ooh, I like that. That is nice. Give you guys a better look with the background there. I'm going to use the pure black now and just get in here. There we go. We talked about this earlier, how I don't usually use black to shade stuff. Oh, speaking of which, we are going to shade his little emblem. Points to anyone who knows the organization that this emblem is, that Hellboy belongs to. Because I know someone in this chat knows. You know it? Yes. The potato foot got it. BPRD. Yes. Oh, Mazershul, you're so close. Potato foot, you win. You get the points. Okay, let's see. I still want more. I'm going to mix a little bit of this. Just going to take a little white and a little ivory. And this is where I'm going to pop some of the highlights. A little bit more than even Angel did. I think it works. Does it work? Yeah, I like it. Oh, let's paint this silver cross he's got. Go ahead and paint that blue real quick. All right, that is dry. Now I can go in here with white. This is going to be very, very tricky. I'm going to go over the edge real quick. There. Oh my God, that was hard. Now, would they would go fight like demons and stuff, right? On NBPRD. I'll tell you what, I didn't read Hellboy when I was a kid, but I did read Spawn. Who here in chat remember? I know you do, Mauser Schmool. Don't you remember Spawn? Spawn was pretty good. I had every issue. But, well, so I didn't finish the series, but I had every issue they made until I quit. I quit at one point. I finally quit reading comics, and I think it was in, I think I quit reading comics in 94, 95. 95 was probably when I quit reading comics because it was getting expensive, and they just kept putting out, they just kept commercializing it so bad. But my point is, I had a lot of the Spawn. And I felt like that was, it wasn't a horror comic, but it was scary for me. It was like, it was a scary comic. Spawn is still going. It's a good thing I didn't keep going with it. Yeah. Time for you to get sleep. All right, Rumble. Yeah, it's getting close to the end of stream here too. We're just going to go a little bit more, but we're very close. The main thing is that, oh yeah, that's beautiful. Yay! Collins, 39, thank you for the follow. You stopped collecting Spawn at 128. Ah! That is before, that is like later than me. So I don't remember how many I had, but I had a lot of them. And I would say a lot of my Spawn were still decently valuable when I sold them. So, I mean, I didn't get full value for them because that's just not how it worked with paper products. But I got my money back pretty much. What I paid into it, at least. Which isn't bad. Okay, there we go. There's this little cross. It's not as gray as I need it to be, but there we go. And I'm just gonna leave his rosary as is. Maybe paint a few more of the little beads on here. There we go. All right, all that's left is the feet. And a few little details on the back, which I'm not going to get to. Let me see. But what we could do Yeah, that looks pretty good. I think we can finish the feet a little bit. We could at least get the boots started. And then we'll find somebody to jump into their stream. Yeah, I like that. The brown. Not bad for what did we do? 3 hours of painting? We got 3 hours of Hellboy. Now, here's the deal. What I think I'm going to do, because he's a commission, is I think I'm going to finish him offline, because there's not much left to go. And then we'll start painting the bug fairy, which is a really cool garage kit that I got from Sazan Lee. If you get a chance to go look up Sazan Lee online, you will not be disappointed. He's on Twitter. And check him out before I paint the bug fairy. I'm just edge highlighting those boots a little bit. There we go. Let's do the toes with a little blue. Hi, Mike.
Hello.
Welcome home. Mike is home from work. Oh, I love the blue on his feet. Now the white. Now, the way Angel does the white is he kind of does little marks like that to give it kind of a sketchy. And then yeah, that actually looks very cool. And then I'm going to add the blue back on the sides just a little bit here. There we go. Valeris says, hi, Mike. One guy knew. Yes. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Art Galaxius. I appreciate that. Well, my friend who had me do this, like I said, he's been a comic book fan for as long as I've known him, and that's a long time, because I've known him a long time. And so I want to do right by Hellboy. Ooh, I like that. All right. I feel like I need a little bit more blue in here. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Feels more metallic that way. All right, here's Hellboy. What do you think? I'm gonna take some pictures of him and I'm gonna post them up on Instagram. We're gonna go ahead and raid somebody. So let's check out and see who we can raid. All right, stick with me. It's a really nice thing to go ahead and, send all you guys to someone else. So let's see who is online. I think we're gonna raid Studio J. There we go. So go ahead and punch that raid button. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'm gonna be done with him, but I'm gonna be starting a brand new model, so I hope that you will come and check it out. Bye, guys.